How to convert a recipe calling for active dry yeast into rapid rise yeast. I have a recipe for rolls where the first stage calls for 2 packages active dry yeast, 1 tablespoon sugar, and 1/2 cup warm water to be mixed until the yeast is proofed, and then 1/4 cup cubed butter is added to the proofed yeast. Then all of that is added to half of the flour, 2 cups, and 2 teaspoons salt and allowed to do the first rise. If I wanted to use rapid rise yeast instead of active dry, could I skip the proofing step? Would I need to add the butter at all? Could I just mix all the dry ingredients, add the warm water and start the dough that way? What effect would this change have?
First off, it's good to understand the difference between active dry yeast and rapid rise yeast. Active dry yeast is a larger granule of yeast in which the outer shell is composed of mostly dead cells entombing the dormant nougaty goodness inside. It has to be proofed to separate out all the cells and rehydrate the interior active cells. Rapid rise yeast is typically a combination of 2 different strains of yeast, so those with a very discerning palate might be able to tell the difference. I've never really tried. The granules of yeast are smaller and dried slower to preserve more yeast cells. Ascorbic acid is also added to push the yeast into overdrive a little faster. A great video that helped me a lot is http://howtoheroes.com/videos/dessert-and-baked-goods/yeast-101. See link 1. I have noticed before issues with rapid rise yeast not proofing very well the second time around. Apparently it's designed to give you one really good proof and then die out, play hard and die young. Instant yeast however is rapid rise yeast without the hardcore party attitude. It's what they use at the King Arthur Bakery test kitchen, so that's good enough for me. They say to use them interchangeably, but many other sites I see show a difference of about 20%. 2 tablespoons active dry yeast approximately equals 1.6 tablespoon instant yeast. When using instant yeast, rapid rise, you can skip the proofing step. You should use warm, about 110-degree, water when pouring it in, but your yeast should be added with the dry ingredients. The butter is added to the proofed yeast not for anything yeast related, but probably to soften the butter. I'd add it to your warm water. I'd continue to leave the butter in, because otherwise you will be dealing with unenriched dough, which has a different texture and flavor. According to every source I've seen, my primary source being the America's Test Kitchen Family Cookbook, use 25% less instant yeast than active dry yeast. If you use the same amount, you will want to use more salt to counteract some of the more powerful yeast.